What is up, my fellow Yeats? We're back at it again with another episode, and today is gonna be predicting Stranger Things season 4.
All right,
4
yeah.
years too late.
Yeah, sure. Just take my job, why don't you? Jeez.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, so let me be the actual me now. What is up, my fellow youths? We've been watching Stranger Things with my boy. You know Jim, right? Jim Hopper. He's been, especially if you've been subscribed to the second channel.
Watuski.
You are, right? You are. You better be. All right, but anyways, so we've been watching Stranger Things. We just finished season 3, episode 8. And now we're gonna have him predict season 4, which is a bit late, I know, but season 4 is arguably the best season. It's arguably the most crazy season. It's arguably the most terrorizing. It's like there's a lot of shit that happens in season 4. Let's be honest, season 5 wasn't as crazy. So why not have him actually predict season 4 instead of season 5? That's a great question. All right, yeah, we moved down. So because I just realized that there's like this projector in front of us. Yeah, so there's that. But yeah, so you heard us right. We're gonna be talking about trying to predict season 4 of Stranger Things, and yeah. So first up though, I want you to tell me. So every single season of Stranger Things cannot happen unless there's a connection between the Upside Down and Hawkins, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of been severed because they just closed the gate that the Russians are opening. And not only that, but the Mind Flayer just died. Once that connection was severed, it just fell and died. So how's that connection gonna be restored? Are they gonna open up another gate, or is it gonna be something else? Is the Upside Down gonna get more powerful, and what's going on there?
Well, I don't know if it's accurate to say that the Upside Down is going to get more powerful. It's just that you are going to see more of it. Because you see, we thought this whole time that the Mind Flayer was the big bad or whatever, but you know, little did we find out, the Mind Flayer was but a humble servant. And now the Mind Flayer's boss is going to come out and reopen the gate.
So who's the Mind Flayer's boss?
Well, see, what they're going to do is they're going to explain that in some flashbacks. As Stranger Things always does, have a bunch of flashbacks. This time they're going to do some flashbacks like when Hawkins' lab was still around, and they're going to have that doctor from season 1 and 2 or whatever that was supposed to be dead, but they kind of already teased that he's not, so he's going to be in both the flashbacks, but he's also going to pop up in 1986 now. Wait.
So you're saying, what's going on with Dr. Brenner's his name?
Dr. Brenner.
Yeah, so what are you going to say? What's going on with him?
All right, he's going to pop up in 1986/7 because they never really showed him die, and then they already teased because, number 8 or whatever was telling number 11 that, oh, you just want to think that he's dead or whatever. That was all just foreshadowing that he's not really dead. So he's going to pop back up at the most plot convenient time. He's just going to be in some of the flashbacks, and the flashbacks are going to show, something about them discovering the real big bad or whatever, and then maybe they're able to seal the big bad away for a while, but now he's going to come back in 1986 or whatever.
Okay.
And then that's when Dr. Brenner also has to come back, and at the end of the last season, you remember that 11 lost her powers, and it's well, how did she get her powers in the first place? Well, from Hawkins' lab. So therefore, somebody associated with Hawkins' lab, it would have to be Dr. Brenner, I guess, since most of the other Hawkins' lab people are dead. So Dr. Brenner returns at the most convenient possible time, and then all of a sudden he's able to help her get her powers back or something. And then, somewhere, I don't know if it's season 4 or maybe they'll leave it on a cliffhanger and it will be season 5 that the real big bad, the Mind Flayer's boss, will be put away.
Okay, so then, we did also see Dr. Owen in the season finale when they were going to go pick up the Russians or whatever.
Right, I forgot about him. He's gonna die at some point.
You think he's gonna die?
Well, honestly, Dr. Brenner will probably die too.
Okay.
But they're gonna die at some point because like I was considering is like, all right, so they're gonna try not to kill off any of the quote unquote main characters. You know, like most of the kids are like, you know, gonna survive or whatever. So in order to keep the deaths coming, they're gonna kill off some of these Hawkins lab people because, you know, they're not really even in all the episodes or anyone. So like they're expendable basically.
Okay. And so you kind of had an interesting theory that you told me right as Hopper was kind of put into bits by the by the Russian power thing that like opens the gate, that kind of thing. They never really tell us what it's called. It's just kind of like a power thing.
All right.
So what's this theory? What was this theory that you had?
Right. So it's gonna turn out that Hopper is not dead either, because honestly, they didn't show him die that well. See, what's about to happen, right, is here's Hopper, right? You know, first they're gonna like have some flashbacks, you know, of maybe him in the war or whatever. You know, he's in Nam. He's got his gun. He's shooting at people, and then next thing you know, he's gonna wake up in 1986 or whatever. He wakes up in 1986. All of a sudden, you know, he's in this unfamiliar environment. It's about to turn out that he wasn't dead after all. The Soviet Union got him. See, and this all ties in because I don't know if you've seen some of those Marvel movies, but there's this Marvel character, Red Guardian. He's like the Soviet Union equivalent of Captain America, and he bears like an uncanny resemblance to Jim Hopper. So, see, and he happened to appear right around the same time that Jim Hopper supposedly died. So what it's going to turn out is that Jim Hopper did not die. He was captured by the Soviets. He ended up, you know, being injected with like super soldier serum. He's brainwashed, you know, into thinking that he's Russian. They make him the Russian equivalent of Captain America, as seen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Okay, I had to stop you because I was a bit confused. But so you're telling me that Hopper's going to be infused with and become stronger?
Yep.
Okay. So you think that he's going to be like, I guess, a new 11 maybe even?
I mean, who knows what powers he could have? But all I know is that he's going to be injected with that crazy, you know, Soviet Union experiment, and you know he's about to return to save the day. Basically, it's like somehow the Russians got wind of the Hawkins lab experiments in terms of like, you know, giving people power, and they're trying to replicate those experiments.
And now that's now in Russia. Like how are they gonna find him?
Well, you see, you know, he's gonna like start to remember his past life, and then he's gonna bust out of there because they're not gonna be able to control him that well. So then he's gonna end up back in Hawkins too, you know, at the most plot convenient time in order to help close the gate and stuff.
So he's gonna get there by himself?
Yep.
So yeah, I had to stop because I was trying to figure out more questions. But so with more, so with every season, like the Upside Down has like a new target. Last season it was Billy. So So who's their new target, right?
Well, Billy was not really a target. It was just like they found a rando to possess or whatever. So
half and half. Basically,
they're just gonna find some new randos to possess. You know, maybe some characters that haven't barely done anything yet, like Mr. Wheeler or something.
But you don't think that was a very specific? You don't think that was specific to get to take Billy?
Nope. I mean, other than the fact that maybe he was kind of buff, and they were trying to find somebody buff to use as a host. Other than that, it was not for any specific reason.
Okay. And then, so I've also given you a few of these specific props. So what do you think I've given some of these props for? I mean, I know you've picked up some of them, but like some things like the skateboard and the what do you think I gave you these for? Maybe?
Right. So the boat is used either in the Vietnam flashback, either that, or this is, you know, what Hopper steals on part of his journey back to the U.S. Skateboard, I mean, that's pretty easy. You know, at some point they're gonna have Max or whatever ride a skateboard. The Unimobile, that's easy. At some point, they're gonna steal one.
Okay.
They're gonna roll Nat 1 in D&D, and that's gonna happen to coincide with the moment the gate reopens. And then the lantern, they're gonna be in some spooky places, so somebody's gonna have to hold on to one of these. And then the Walkman, they're gonna find out that, the weakness of some of these creatures is loud noises or something. So then they're gonna blast a Walkman at them.
Okay.
And the kid, this is a red herring.
Red herring? What do you mean?
You put this there to mess with me, doesn't it? There is no kid. At least no kid that looks like this.
Now that 11's lost her powers, though, what's gonna go on with that? How is? So you say that 11's is gonna know that something's going on, right?
Well, see, what's gonna happen is that when Dr. Predator pops up to help her get her powers back, that actually happens in California. Then once she gets her powers back, that's when she realizes that Hawkins is in danger. The reason why Dr. Brenner hasn't been around is because he, went to California. So for plot convenience reasons, he's already there.
Are we what kind of new characters might we see?
Well, that's easy. So basically, they're just gonna start introducing some new younger and younger characters. Like some younger siblings or something. Like we already know that Mike Wheeler has a younger sister. So either in season 4 or season 5, that will suddenly start becoming an actually important character, and just stuff like that.
Okay, but you think that that younger sister is Holly too, just so you know. With the next questions though, the Upside Down, it's getting stronger. Last time the Mind Flayer had this physical form, and it possessed a whole bunch of people, and it just combined them all into this fleshy mass. So what's the big monster this time though?
Well, you see, we've been escalating, right? And basically, the kids have always been using D&D names for the monsters. You got the Demogorgon, then you got the Mind Flayer. Well, for season 4 and 5, the big bad is going to be the strongest D&D monster, the Tarrasque. At least that's what they're going to call it.
What is the Tarrasque again? I know what it is, but for people who might not know.
Well, as far as I can tell, it's just this giant dinosaur-looking thing with 1 billion hit points.
Okay, so and you think this Tarrasque? What does this Tarrasque want with this world? What does he want?
Well, you see, the Tarrasque is just the big bad's form. So I was explaining, the big bad wants revenge on 11 or whatever, because when 11 was a kid, 11 sealed the big bad away. And that's why, basically the big bad is going to reopen the gate and then come out taking the form of the Tarrasque.
Okay. So you think that's the form they're going to take? All right, it's the next day, guys. And he actually had a really good idea for showing off the Tarrasque. We have the monster manual right here. Why did I think of this, honestly? So show it to the camera, please, would you, sir?
The Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition official monster manual.
And the Tarrasque was a thing in 1983, so I will say he has it's a fair point that maybe this could happen.
Oh shit.
This is the Tarrasque. Yeah. I will read you off some of those stats. 25 armor class, 676 hit points, Jesus. 40 feet speed. It's got 30 strength. What the fuck? 30 con. Its intelligence is low though. It's got 3 and then 11 dex, 11 whiz, and 11 charisma. It has magic resistance. It got legendary resistance to failing saving throw. It can just choose to succeed. It's got fright or presence, so each creature of the Tarrasque choice can, within 120 feet of it, is aware, must succeed, and or become frightened. It's got a tail attack, it's got horns attack, claw attack, swallow. The attack can just basically swallow you in one bite. Yeah, I haven't even seen this page, so yeah, this is actually kind of crazy. There is a lot. Yeah, there's also legendary actions, attack and move and chomp. Okay, this is great.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the Tarrasque.
Now we get an idea of the type of creature that the kids may encounter in Stranger Things season 4.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say in that say about in that book of things? I want to flip through and just see if there's anything else that perhaps an eye.
Wait, what is this? The Beholder?
Yeah.
That's another candidate for what they might encounter.
Mm.
I think that would be a little bit less interesting, but
Like a minion type thing, you know what I mean? He's just looking for the table of contents right now. I mean, there's a ton of monsters in this thing now.
yeah. I mean, there are a lot of ones that could be interesting. Like, they might encounter, like, they might start turning people into Death Knights or something. You never
What
know.
is a death knight?
Oh, we're about to find out.
I wish they had the year introduced in this
Yeah.
book.
We're not certain that the Death Knight was around back in the 80s, but, you know, when a paladin that falls from grace dies without seeking atonement, dark powers can transform the once mortal knight into a hateful undead creature.
Okay.
So something like that might end up happening to the people of Hawkins.
Okay, that's actually a really cool concept. This death knight, that's really cool.
So you never know.
I like that.
Like I was saying, I don't have the best knowledge of like what was actually around in the 80s, but
Yeah, we don't, but but like just like as a concept.
I think one of the monsters that has already been mentioned in the show itself is the Hydra.
Okay.
But
Hydra's a very we know that.
yeah, you know, famous from Greek mythology.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
you chop off one head, 2 grow back.
Mhm.
Something like that could be interesting for them to face.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but but like he had that great idea to show that off, and that was a really good idea, man. Thank you.
Yep.
Just doing my job better, lovely. But yeah, we'll get back to him predicting the rest of it. So yeah, bye. And then so lastly, of course, I think gotta ask, how do you think this season's gonna end?
Well, there's pretty much going to be, you know, one of 2 ways. You know, way one, which I think is more likely, is that, you know, it's going to be like this big bad was so big and bad that it takes 2 seasons just to beat him. So it's just going to be a cliffhanger and nothing is really resolved. And then you have to have an entire season 5.
Mm-hmm.
Option 2 is just like they end it, you know, like the first 3 seasons, where it's just like, oh yay, we beat it, we closed the gate, and then they jump ahead by a month and then have like one epilogue scene.
Okay. And if it takes 2 seasons just to beat this guy, why, it's just because it's so strong?
Yeah, part of the reason is like just because it takes super duper long for Eleven to finally get her powers back and get there from California, and you know, for Hopper to, you know, wake up and escape from the Soviets and also get back to Indiana. So like by the time the season ends, like they might have like just gotten back or something, and that might be the cliffhanger. So like they might not even actually like get a chance to even do much.
Okay,
So it might just be like set up.
So you think that season 4 is kind of just like building up to beat this guy?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a pretty okay theory. And then, is there anything else you want to say about what's going to happen with this season? Anything else?
Yeah. So, you know, in the post-credit scene of season 4, you know, they're just like zoom in on this ginormous counter, and then you see this guy on just like dancing on top of the counter, and then all of a sudden, from, you know, off screen, you just hear this voice, and it just shouts, "Phil, get off the counter."
Lovely. I know I didn't know that's where you were going, but okay. All right. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. We will have another one, Stranger Things video, somewhat soon coming up. But we're gonna edit this all together, make this all look kind of fun. Yeah, why not? But I thought it'd be fun to just have him predict things because we've been having fun. So yeah, but that's gonna be it for today. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell, and Phil, get off the counter!